And welcome to our series on regional country towns of New South Wales or Australia. And we're in the little town towards the Barrington Tops, midway between Scone and Gloucester, and it's called Gundy. But we're at the, as far as we know, unusable cemetery at the moment. And I thought I'd just focus on some of the headstones here. This one's very hard to read, but this gentleman, Donald McCall, departed on the 23rd of August in 1872, but he reached the ripe age of 83 years and 11 months. He was a native of, which is spelt wrong, of Appin in Scotland. Now, Appin is also known on the Queensland, southern part of Queensland out from Toowoomba for growing apples and things like that. And of course, if you were to head probably in a southeasterly direction from Gundy, you would come to the town of Aberdeen. Aberdeen also a known name from Scotland. And we'll just have a look at some of the headstones here. Like I said, most of them you can't read. Typical, the little ones over here. Young children died at a very young age, which was common back in those days. But that's why we started off with Mr. McCall there, 83 years old. Like I said, a lot of them are totally unreadable. Some of the headstone has completely disintegrated. And like we said there, we thought this graveyard is probably not used anymore now. It's outside the Gundy Church, which you can see over here. And the main reason that is, and we'll do a separate video on it, you can see the ground here is very cracked, and we'll talk about that in the next video. And the effect is the headstones and the graves are starting to fall in, or have been falling in for some time. So we'll talk about the reasons behind it a little bit later. But we're having trouble picking up the names because, 1872, this is 2023 that we're doing this. 1826, this particular one here, Edward Caslick, died on 24th November 1896, 20-year-old. Headstone came from a stonemason in Scone. Not a lot of graves here, and like we said, we'll just mention a couple of them as long as we don't fall down some of these cracks here. Some are totally flattened, these ones here in front of us. And as far as we know, there's no history. You might remember the video I did on the haunted graveyard at Kapunda in South Australia. Well, as far as we know, nothing's haunted about this graveyard, but it's got some special features that, like I said, keep watching, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll tell you about this particular ground where the Gundy Cemetery is located. And we'll just go last row of graves here. Husband and wife departed back in the 1800s. No, aged 76 as far as I can work out. And his wife Elizabeth, yes it does, it says Henry Elmer's husband and wife. We can't find a date there. But obviously it hasn't been that long since someone's been to these graves and looked after them. And the last couple along here, Ellen Elizabeth and her husband Thomas, once again departed 1898. And if we can make out the last one, 1888, age 14 years. So obviously a young man either died of some disease or met with an accident. Henry Thomas, eldest son of Mr. and Mrs. Taylor, who died at, can't read it, age 17th of July 1888, age 14 years. We can't really tell you anything more about that young man, and we'll see if we can glean a little bit of information. Henry Taylor, yes, that's the father of the young boy that died. Father only lived to 47 years of age, and it looks like another child died at 13 and one at 19 years. So Three children at one family here, buried at this graveyard in Gundy, and we'll just swing around there. And if you're ever passing through Gundy, call in, have a look at these historic sites, support the local businesses, hit the like button, subscribe, and tell us about some of the cemeteries you've seen in Australia.